Welcome back, everyone. It's John, Wade Boggs fan. Welcome to another episode of Hobby Talk. And this time I have the pleasure of having the one, the only Mike Baseball Collector on with me. Mike, how are you doing?
Good, John. How are you?
Very good, very good. Hey, before we just start talking baseball and the hobby and stuff, I want to take a second we've talked on the phone just a couple times, trying to organize that tonight.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for just where I am today at 300 subscribers and all that stuff. I was just getting my feet wet with YouTube, just checking out different channels, came across your channel and others that inspired me to say, hey, I think I can do this. And it was maybe like 15 videos in. I did a video on the card catalog in the back there. I don't know how, but you happened to stumble across it and you featured it on one of your videos, said, hey, check this guy out. And my views and interest, and you sort of got me out there. Shortly after that, and I have to give Nate Tops 85401 credit as well. He picked up on that and saw my channel. And so, I'm not sure where. I'm sure I'd have some followers and subscribers and stuff just because I've put out so many videos. But you were one that really jump started my channel, and I just wanted to thank you, and that I'm appreciative. So I'm at 300 subscribers. It's only been like 8 months. It's pretty amazing. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think actually you're misremembering the story because I saw that behind you in one of your early videos, and I don't know how I stumbled on your channel, honestly. And I saw it. I was like, dude, I think I put in a comment, please do a video on that. Because I, of course, I got to turn the right way. Right. And right, we have symmetry there.
Yeah.
And although different ways to do it with the same idea, right? That to keep it stored, our collection stored, or I know you're like me, totally OCD about our collections. And anyway, you're welcome. We all have to start somewhere. So
yeah, Ken there, yeah, the beast. Yeah, it's
I think I'm going to see Ken tomorrow, or no, Friday. I'll see Ken on Friday.
Oh yeah. I heard that. Well, yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about is that you have a big card show coming up this weekend.
Big card show, yeah, 400 plus tables, which is big. That's really big.
Is that about like half the size of the National, or where? I'm trying to think how many tables are they, around 1,000 or?
That's a really actually a very good question. I would guess the National is 1,000 plus tables.
Yeah. So it's say close to half.
Yeah.
So that's a big show.
There's a lot of guys coming into town for it. JT flies down tomorrow. I'm going to pick him up at the airport. Jeremy's coming up here, IPTTM from San Antonio. Ken's local. There's a bunch of local guys that'll be there. So we're having a great time.
Well, the big question is, do you have your eye on anything in particular?
I never really do. I guess mainly because I don't want to be disappointed if I can't find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And so I really am I need so many cards, John, for the various sundry projects that I'm working on that, it's, I'm sure I'll be able to find something. And if I can't, I'll have fun hanging out with my friends and looking at cards. That's not a bad way to spend a Friday and a Saturday. So.
Right. Well, shoot, I'm trying to think now. Ray from Philly. He said I guess this weekend is a big Philly show.
Okay.
That's I think he said that in one of his videos or comments or something like that. So now I'm in Pennsylvania as well. Philly's not too far from me, but and while I probably, if I really wanted to, go to that show this weekend or at least one day, I'm saving up for Chicago, man. I mean, I've already, for the last a good 6 months, if not longer, just sucking away a little bit and come cross my fingers come July. Now I'm not going to be completely flush, but I mean, I'll be able to, look at for some cards. And I realize I'm not going to find many Wade Boggs cards, because when I went out last year to Chicago, there's 2 Boggs collectors that were there, among probably others, but one of them worked at a booth. So he got in right when they were setting up and had a chance to walk around. And another one got there. I got there on Wednesday, sometime in the afternoon. He had already been there. I bumped into him like, hey, look at all the Boggs. I'm like, so I have no expectations of going there and finding a ton of Boggs stuff. One, the stuff that I'm missing, I'm missing some cards, but not a whole lot. And so I think this is going to be a vintage national, I think, for me next year, which is really cool. And I'm always going to be a Boggs collector. But I am having a great time collecting these vintage PSA cards.
I have a few.
Yeah, you have a few. Yeah.
New York Knicks fan 7 says the Philly show was canceled.
Oh, wow!
Interesting news. You heard it here first.
Interesting. Well, that's it. I'm not completely surprised, but how long has the Dallas show been in? I guess in the works or planned.
Well, I think this is probably the 4th or 5th one they did one back in June, and I went to that. It was smaller. It was still 200 plus tables. I mean, it was a big show, but yeah, they're just kind of starting to ramp up shows here the last couple of years, 18 months probably, and it's good to see. I mean, we had been on a show drought, for a long time, and it's a huge area, right? I mean, the Metroplex is a very big place, and so it's good to see shows popping up again.
Yeah, I live in almost the center part of Pennsylvania, so unless I want to travel to Philly again, which is, I have relatives down there, it's not that far for me to go. But other than that, I mean, Cleveland is a good maybe 5 hours. I'm not sure what goes on, maybe if there's anything in Baltimore. I don't really hear too much down in Baltimore. I go to a small show, very small, in northern New Jersey every January, only because it's a Yankee Palooza and Wade Boggs is there. So it's easy for me to go over there and see Wade. In fact, I tweeted him just, I don't know, early this week or last week or something like that. Hoping saying that, hey, hope the show in January goes on, but it's northern New Jersey. I'm not holding my breath that they're going to have it at the end of January, but that's when I normally get to meet Wade and have him sign some stuff.
How many IP Wade autographs do you have?
In person, like really in person autographs. I don't have any on cards. I have four jerseys that are personalized to me, a bat, some photos of. Every time I go, I have my picture. I spend $65 and have my picture taken with Wade. I have like 5 of them, but and so I get, he has those signed, and that big wooden home plate. That one was really neat. When I was in line, and there's a decent line for Wade, and I kept I see people have like a baseball or something small, and I'm like, you can go ahead of me. They're like, what? I said, just go ahead of me in line, because I got something. I didn't want to hold everyone up. So it got to the point where I'm getting close to the front, and I had warned Wade ahead of time. I reached out to him. I said, hey, Wade, I have something special for you to sign, but you're going to be signing a lot. He says, yep, no problem. So as I'm getting closer and closer, I take this plate out, and everyone's starting to look like, you're getting Wade to sign it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have him sign all over this thing. And like, oh, cool. So I'm there, and people that had already had stuff signed were waiting around, watching me and watching him sign it. And my wife was with me, and so one of the pictures that I have with me and Wade, actually, it's on my thumbnails. I had her take a picture of me. Well, not only was she taking a picture, there were a couple other people there to get stuff signed by Bugs taking pictures of me because they saw him write. He was writing for like 5 minutes. And I had a whole layout of, hey, put this stat on this line and then this and that. And he was like, yep, okay. And switching pens and different colors, and just he was great about it. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that is the most awesome thing I've ever seen. So that was neat.
No requests tonight for songs.
So. No song requests. What a girl wants. Yeah, no, I don't have a sound box like Haas does. So stuff. Yeah, so
Mark.
Yep. But
love your JT custom card you had.
Oh, that came out great, and I really feel bad. I back and forth with JT. He was great about it. First did like a clean shaven, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. But I sort of have a little, not quite of a beard as you do, but just a little bit of stubble. And I said, would you mind just adding a little bit? He goes, well, yeah, it may be a little bit hard, but I'll see what I can do. I'm like, take your time, no worries. And then he came back again, and it was more of a, like I said, like a David Ortiz, just like a little strip and stuff. And I'm like, I don't mean to be an idiot here, but could you just feel? And then the last up just nailed it. And I thanked him a dozen times. That came out really cool.
He's creative, and he's done. I think I have 6 or 7 of them, of different guys, and I've got him working on 2 more special ones that are not to be discussed, but they'll be shown once I get them. But it'll be a few weeks. He told me today he's got, I don't know, 15, 20 on, or that are ordered that he has to work on. It's like ridiculous.
Well, Ken just had one. I think he posted, didn't you?
Yeah, Ken's got one already, and I think JT's working on 2 more. He's trying to finish them, or at least 1 more to bring them down here to give them to Ken.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that one with the West Virginia, I just saw it on one of his, I think he tweeted it or something with the West Virginia. That's, again, JT nailed it. So
yeah, he's creative.
Yeah.
Pretty good for a kid.
So one of the things I was thinking about, now we're in the off season, and you may have a little bit more experience in this, because my universe up until fairly recently has been Wade Boggs cards. I don't collect didn't collect other things as, other than getting stuff from packs.
Right.
Am I correct in thinking that, generally speaking, once you hit the off season, and we're just talking baseball right now, that card prices seem to start going down a little bit, or like maybe at least level off? Not much activity. There's no games. Yeah, you may be talking free agency, but is that generally what happens?
Yeah, I would say generally that's true. Not universal by any means, but yeah, that's at least we all hope that, because I'm tired of paying all these crazy prices.
Well, the thing I was thinking about is, if that's the case, I wonder how, especially this year with the investors and flippers and pushing prices up, whether there'll be a greater fall. I haven't really, again, I haven't been looking at the data. I haven't been looking at different cards, and I know people that have been following basketball. I think that's been taking a bit of a hit, certain cards. Don't know if that's because of once the NBA finals were over.
Right.
But yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's been obviously the weirdest year any of us have ever seen. So
yeah,
especially in the card world, along with the real world. So I wouldn't be surprised if no matter what happens. I won't be surprised if cards continue to rise. I won't be surprised if they level off, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go down a little bit. But I think we're setting a new. What I think is going to happen is we're going to have a new level. Like it's just been kind of this. We pushed everything up, and I think everything kind of either stays there or kind of incrementally rises from there. I can't imagine a scenario where everything takes off again. It just
yeah. So you're saying it's like we're at a new bottom or something,
correct.
And then it just
yeah. We've created a new floor, right? So it's hard for me to imagine a scenario where, I mean, stuff's already stupid expensive, right? So there's only so much money. I just believe there's only so much money to go around in the hobby, and we all have budgets, varying as they might be. And so you can only do so much. And the way that's translated into my collecting is I've gone from being able to get 6s, 7s, and 8s on 50s and 60s cards to now I'm getting 3s, 4s, and 5s. You know?
Yeah, you're still getting them, but you're not be able to get them in higher. I mean, it may also be something like musical chairs. You know, at some point you can be in, price goes up, you sell, and rather than take that money out of the market, okay, which would lead to prices going down, you take that money, you buy something else, but that means someone's selling it, and it's until that person is left without a seat and says, okay, I'll take it out, it could keep going.
Well, that's kind of my theory on retail, because I think you're going to see during the off season, there's not much product coming out at all. These people that still have boxes or whatever from cleaning out Walmarts and Targets and whatever are going to end up sitting on inventory that they don't want to sit on. And so they're going to have to lower in order to sell it, they're going to have to lower their prices. And the solution is easy. Everybody's like, well, how do you solve this problem and make stuff not get wiped out? Stop buying it.
Stop buying it. Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. It's not the idiot. It's not the guy that goes to the store and wipes the shelves off that I'm worried about. It's the guy that pays the price on eBay that's 2x, 3x, 4x retail price.
Yeah, because they can't find it.
Yeah. That's the idiot in this equation. Who's doing it? Why would you do that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And you're going to get jack squat in the box anyway. What's the point? So it makes, I mean, I was at Walmart last weekend out near my ranch, and they had 11 boxes of Bowman Platinum on the shelf. Retail price was $44.95, $44.99. And I was like, no, because I looked it up online and they were selling for $45. And I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
I was prepared to buy them all, literally, and resell them. But there's just nothing there. There's no meat on the bone. And the product's for crap. Like, you buy a couple just to break them. But
yeah. I heard that the Bowman Platinum isn't that great, and Topps Update. I mean, I've heard some really bad
dumpster
reviews in terms of the rookies that are traditionally in Update, and there's hardly any. There's the one, again, I don't know my modern players. The one of them that switched teams and made it on the Rays, the infielder.
Arozarena?
Yeah. Has him, I guess, maybe in the Rays uniform, whereas he was in Series 1 under a different uniform, the Padres or something, or whatever it was.
I'm not a big fan of like rookie debut cards. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm being really transparent here, aren't I? I just think it's just a money grab for Topps, right? Put all these, and I'm also a purist. I believe a player has one rookie card. It's their Topps base card, period. After that, I don't even, people say, oh, they pull a gallery, Luis Robert. Well, here's his rookie card. It's not. It's a rookie year card.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has a rookie card shield on it is irrelevant to me. I just believe like their Topps base rookie, and or if their first Topps card is an update card, that I consider Series 1, Series 2, and update all part of the Topps flagship run in any given year. And I
think your comment may be different back in the days when there was like Topps Fair and Donruss.
You could split, 3 rookie cards,
but maybe I think your point is like this is all tops, and
Right.
all these different products are tops.
Right.
So yeah, you can say there's a gallery rookie, a Allen and Ginter rookie, this and that rookie. Um, yeah, I guess maybe you're maybe a little bit more of a purist. I think where I would maybe draw the line is again the rookie debuts, the second or third card within the series that even though that has the rookie label, that's not a rookie card. It's the single card. And like all the inserts, they stick the rookie card logo on it. You know, even like the non-numbered inserts. That's not a rookie. That's to me that's not a rookie card. It's
It's a
now,
rookie
but
year card.
I
It's a
can
rookie
see.
year card, no doubt.
Hmm?
Rookie year card for sure, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
not questioning that. I don't know. Yeah, purist probably. But I would say Wade Boggs has 3 rookie cards. So does Ryan Sandberg, Tony Gwynn, and all during that era. Ken Griffey has 5. He has a score rookie, a upper deck, Topps, Fleer, Donruss.
Well, I mean, and I would agree that even though there's a 1983 top sticker, that's not a rookie card. Now, again, it's going beyond the actual card, but even if they had an 83, he didn't have an 83, but if he had an 83 Topps glossy, I wouldn't consider that a rookie card because it's not the Topps, Flair, or the Donruss.
Is he in the 83 Drakes? Is he in the Drake set?
No, 84. I think
Okay.
was his first year in Drake's. Yeah. So, well, speaking of sort of retail, you got, I think you said you found or had someone found for you the Walmart complete factory set.
That's right.
Did you just get one?
I did. There were 3 on the shelf, and I only bought one. Looking back on it, I should have bought them all, but because I want to open the one I have. Maybe we should do that. You want to open it and see if I got one of the gold sets?
Yeah. I have. I don't have it here. We could have a dual rip because
Where is it?
I brought that. What?
Where is your set?
It's I literally just got it in the mail today and it's downstairs. It literally came because
Time out. We're gonna go grab our sets and open them together. You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. I'll stay here. You go get yours, and I'll entertain everyone.
Okay.
I'll sing. I'll do some requests or something. Let me see if I can't read some of these comments here because I'm so blind. Yep, I think you're right, Ken. Don't sing. I will not, Matt. I'll try not to do that. Okay. Ken says take a break. Carson Daly left. I know, he looks exactly like Carson Daly. Ron, did you open any of your sets that you got for Target? Only has, I can't remember what the exclusive parallel, or they have the rainbow foil or something like that. I can't remember. But I have another set coming. That's why I'm willing to open this one. Dave Blue Jacket bought me a Target set, so I'll keep that one sealed in my run of top sets. And then you want me to get the 53 Bowman Pee Wee Reese? Well, it's right here. Hold on. Okay.
All right.
All right. I had to get a card too. Now I got to go get my set. Okay. So Steve wanted me to show my Bowman card.
Nice.
My favorite baseball card ever, right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, my story here is I couldn't find any at one Walmart. There's another Walmart maybe 15 miles away. I just don't get to that one that often. So I was like, okay, I got to buy it off of eBay. I got to bite the bullet. I found, again, you were talking about those Bowman Platinum going for pretty much retail on eBay.
Right.
I got this seller free shipping for $75 each.
Okay.
So you figure and shipping, and with what I would pay with tax, I mean, it's basically all I did was pay for shipping. There was no upcharge or profit. That's why I'm like, wow. When I saw that, I think it was listed for maybe an hour, and I'm like, I buy it. I just done. So, all right. I had, when I was down opening the package, I asked my wife pick which one. She picked this one, so this is one I'm going to open.
You have two?
Yeah, I got two. So I'm going to keep one sealed.
You want to go first or second?
Go ahead.
All right. So we're looking for the Diamond Star or the Gold Star, I think, version.
Yeah, I don't know what color the 299 is or the 99. I think one of them's orange. Is the 99 orange?
I think the orange is 99.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, one of us could have the one of one. I don't think the one of one set's been pulled yet.
Well, there you go. We could be making YouTube history here.
Maybe. Okay. I got a Gold Star set.
Nice.
See?
Yep. In fact, Eric 4-Leaf Cards pulled a Gold Star set.
So those are what, 1 out of 3, I think, sets are that?
I'm not sure. In fact, I didn't know there was a Gold Star. I thought there was only the 299 and 99.
No, the Gold Star is 1 out of 3, and then there's some other ones. Okay, I'm gonna open my packs too. I mean,
okay.
I got a gold rainbow foil, whatever this is, foil pack.
They're out of like 260 something.
Yeah, and then you got the rookie variation set, I think. Let's see. Okay. Got Yordan Alvarez, Gavin Lux. See, this is not Luis Roberts' rookie
card. Yep.
It's a rookie year card. And then it comes with Bichette and Aquino are the other ones. So, I mean, those are cool. But they, I'm sure a ton of these are going to be opened and then sent in for grading and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, I'm going to open my.
I've seen the whole. Of course, it's open to know that it's the Gold Star set. I've seen them sell at least recently for like $200.
Wow. Well, my full parallel Bo Bichette.
There you go.
Number to 264. That's pretty good. And then my other decent card in that was Miguel Andujar.
There you go.
And those have a cool shine to them for sure.
Yeah.
That Bichette's probably a pretty decent card. While you're opening yours, I'm going to look up that Bichette.
All right. So here we go. The reason why I wanted to get two is I have complete sets. I have some factory sets and stuff, but I kind of like someday to be able to put these sets in binders. I used to be a binder guy, not anymore because of room, but I'm anticipating when my wife and I build a house that I'm going to have lots of room in the basement. So I'm thinking maybe I'd like to get some sets and binders to look through them. And so I like a hand set. So here we go.
So this Bichette right here,
yesterday sold for $250.
Are you serious? Oh,
Holy crap.
it's not quite like yours, but right on the top there, Tatis.
Nice.
Rookie Cup. All right, so let's see here. I may be skunked here with the set.
I got to put this in a top loader real quick here before I.
I may just have the base set. Yep, I got the base. That's fine.
All right. I got to take care of this Bichette now. Good grief.
What I find interesting is with these factory sets, they're not in order. You get every card, but it's not in order.
Isn't that weird? Like, why couldn't they just put them in order? How hard is that?
So, well, I got my base set. That's fine, but let's see what I got. I'll wait to. These are just the 5 basic. They're the same ones you got, but let's see what other ones I get. Again, the Tatis isn't as good as the Bichette because the Bichette's the rookie, but again, there is the Tatis, a nice shimmer there.
Beautiful.
J.D. Davis, Starlin Castro, Archie Bradley, and Jalen Davis, rookie. Neat card there. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Caesar. Hey, there's a bunch of guys coming in.
Yeah. Now. Yeah. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Ken. He'll like this. I just pulled the Bo Bichette foil out of my set, my top set, number to 264. Ken's a Bo Bichette guy. Did you get a Betts foil board or no? Somebody just said they got one.
No, Retro Fans sold the Betts for $30.
Gotcha. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Again,
of course, I'm not going to, but it's like, okay, now should I open the second one? But I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. And
you're gonna eventually put it into a binder anyway. What does it matter?
No, the one I just opened, I'm gonna put in a binder. I wanted to open one. Now, again, if I had hit the Gold Star, then I'd be like, well, then I still don't have an open base. Then so I may have opened the second one, but I don't want to tempt fate and have another base and I go, oh, great. But who knows? It's just like just one of those unopened boxes that you say, I'm just going to hold on to. I'm going to hold on to. And then eventually you look at it and go, yeah, I want to rip it. But
Ken, you can shoot me an email if you're wanting to negotiate for this Bichette. And I also got the rookie, whatever, parallel image variation, whatever they call it. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And the Gold Star, I guess I have in there somewhere, the Bo Bichette Gold Star, too.
But that's true.
Let me see what those go for. What
do the variations go for?
I'll find that out, too. Let's look at both. So the Gold Star Bichette, it's not much. It's a $8 card. But if you put the Gold Star and the rookie variation, it sold us for $40.
I figure that Tatis being a rookie cup, maybe about $5, $8. Second year. It's the second year.
Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, the variation went for 99 cents today. So let me look at the Tatis. It's so nice. You can just look stuff up real quick.
Yeah.
What's that number? 264. 2020 tops. Let's see. The last one sold on auction for $52. The one before that, $63.
Really?
Yeah. There you go.
Not 200 like your Bichette, but hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. And the last Bichette actually went for buy it now, $249.99. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I bet Ken's typing an email to me right now.
Yeah. Yep. Wheeling and dealing while we're live streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I may sell the card before the stream's over. We'll
yes,
see.
European man, I am wearing pants.
Mike, have you finished your Ernie Banks run? No. In fact, I looked at it today. As a matter of fact, I'm missing 63 and 65 tops. All the Banks cards.
That's one of the things that I'm going to be looking forward to the most with my vintage collection is being able to have these player runs, or maybe getting to the point where, yeah, I'm missing 2 or 3, and forget about working year by year. I want to go after those couple cards that I'm missing, and I guess it's fine that I'm mentioning this right now. I'm working on between the 77s through 80s, and of course the big one in 80s, the Henderson rookie, and I was looking at some in a 6 and debating, and there's one I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go after it. And it was during work. I had my phone on, and I got to tight, and I missed the auction. I'm like, dang it. I'm like, okay. So then I keep looking, and I came across this 7, and I had been sort of saving up a few shekels, knowing that I'd have to spend a little bit more on the Henderson, just because it's Henderson and a decent grade. I saw a 7 that was really nice, well centered and stuff, and I was going to pull the trigger later tonight, especially since one other thing happened that I'm like, oh, okay, hey, I can go after this. It was a buy it now, and someone snatched it. I'm like, son of a gun. So I have my eye on another one. I may put in a little offer, but I'm hoping to get. There's certain cards that I know I'm going to have to pay a little bit more. Now I could go and find a 4 or 5 Henderson and say, hey, I have the Henderson. Certain like rookie cards and stuff that I may go over my budget a little bit because just I don't want to use the word iconic because that's been all over the place. But the Henderson rookie, it's the Henderson rookie.
Right.
And at least for the late vintage, if you want to call it late vintage, early modern or whatever, it's right on that border there. But that's a big card. The Molitor Trammel that I picked up from 78. I think I went down to a 6, found a nice clean copy. I was fine with that. But there's a couple cards that, as I start going back, are going to be like, I want to see if I can stretch it a little bit and maybe get a nicer copy other than a, hey, this is a nice, decent copy for my budget type thing, where most of them are going to be that way. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to pull a trigger on a Henderson fairly soon here. But
can I give you some advice?
Yeah.
This is the do as I say, not as I do kind of advice. If I had it to do all over again in terms of building my collection to what it is now, I would be more patient. And there's an inherent problem with that because today's high prices are tomorrow's discounts, right?
Yeah.
So you can be as patient as you want, but if it costs, and my patience comes to buying get the Henderson in an 8, don't settle for a 7 or a 6. Get it in an 8. And even if it takes you longer to get it because you need to save up money or whatever, I would tell you to do that. Easy for me to say I have an 8. So, you're not competing against me at least. But the point is, I wish I would have been more patient. And that means even on Saturday or Friday when I'm at the show, I'm not going to be patient. I'm going to see a card I want. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Some people, the whole quantity versus quality debate. And I just want the card.
Yeah.
At a reasonable price. I'm not looking to resell it. I'm not looking to, whatever. I think W Boggs 18 wants a shout out, so we need to say hi to him.
AW Boggs. AW Boggs, yeah.
But I guess my point is, I guess how you look at it. If you're looking to own it forever, and you want a 6 or a 7, because I always believe that, again, because of that, there's only so much hobby money. I want that money to go towards as many cards as I can get.
Stretch the budget. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole, would you rather have, let's say your annual budget is $1,000 for cards or $2,000. Would you rather have one $2,000 card and buy one card, or buy hundreds and hundreds of cards that you could get with that budget over the year? And I'd rather have the hundreds and hundreds of cards.
Same here.
And there are people that vehemently disagree with that theory or that mindset. It's not a theory, it's a mindset. And I don't think either one of them's wrong.
No, because again, if your goal is, and again, assuming we all have relatively same budget, if you have your heart set against getting a Aaron rookie card, they're not even in a 1. They're not that cheap. So you may have to say, okay, it's going to be that Aaron card this year, and that's fine.
But you've been watching YouTube for a long time. You know that not everybody's on the same card budget. Come on.
Oh yeah.
There's guys on. I mean, I think I have a decent budget for cards, and I technically don't even have a budget for cards. I just have to be smart about it. But there are people that make me look like a joke, and it's just like, some people just buy stuff. You go, really? Or anybody that spends $200,000 on a card, if they're worth $20 million, that's not a big deal, right? It's
right.
Just,
it's all relative until But I know a collector or two that now some of them, it may look like where are you coming up with all this money? And they flip cards, they sell cards that they're not in PC to fund their collection. Again, so some of that is like, hey, if I didn't do that, I hardly wouldn't have much money to spend at all on cards, but I do this, and hopefully it works well for them, that they can generate that positive cash flow to put into their PC, or they trade, or they do other things to upgrade or whatever in their collection. So I think we're of the general same mindset and with getting vintage, but I can also see your point of saying, hey, John, at least maybe with the Henderson or some other key cards, throw that theory out the window for that card.
Right.
And if you're going to go for a Henderson rookie as part of your vintage collection, don't just say, hey, I got a nice 5 or 6 because I kept within a certain budget. That may be one card where stretch it and get a nice cleaner. I can see that philosophy in terms, not necessarily doing it after, because again, I can't go for 8s and 9s all the way back, or even 7s.
There are lesser players. It's not hard to say this about Hall of Famers, but Wilhelm or certain guys that I don't need them in a 7 or an 8. And then there's guys like Hank Aaron or Koufax or whatever that I can't afford in a 7, and that's not true. I don't want to spend that much money on a 7. That's probably the better. That's the way to say it. Yeah, I don't want to spend that much money on that card, and it's because I don't want to. I want to have more money to buy other stuff, and I want to go back to the player run real quick because I want to give you some more advice about that. What I have found, because you've probably seen my player showcases, once I get a player run done, I just love laying them out, love showing them off, love seeing them all. As much as I do videos for everyone else, I'm doing them for me too, because I just love doing it, and I love having excuses to pull the cards out and then show them. And I mean, it's otherwise they just sit in the beast and hang out with their buddies. But on a player run, it's funny, like the banks right now, the 6360. I looked at it today. I looked up on Topps. Okay, are there any out there? and I almost succumbed to overpaying to get finished.
Yep.
And then I said, wait a second, because I saw some and I was like, oh, I'm about to buy it. I'm going to buy it now. And I'm like, wait, let me go look at what those really sell for if I'm patient.
Yeah.
And it's literally 20, 30% less. And I'm like, okay, just calm down, Mike. It's not like there's not tons and tons of 63 and 65 Topps Ernie Banks cards out there. Wait, just be patient. And so I've had to stop myself even from getting over exuberant in terms of the completionist nature that most of us have and wanting to be done with that player. Not necessarily to shoot a video for it, but just to be done for me, right? To be done and have them all together. So that as you get closer, don't fall prey to that urge to overspend hard.
Yeah.
Just to finish it.
Yeah. Hey, card cutter.
That's
appreciate good. Appreciate the comments there. But yeah,
I've never met somebody more full of themselves than Card Cutter. He would say the same about me. So it's actually he's one of my best friends. So he and I talk literally every day, like every day, multiple times a day.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. That's so cool what this hobby does too. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Like you and I are friends. We would never be friends otherwise.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that the last thing is I am finding myself being patient. So I'll look at, I have the completionist, like you said. I think I need 4 more 78s before I get to the multiplayer cards or some of the other ones. Or I've missed like some of the managers. Now that I'm on the PSA registry, I've noticed, okay, well, they consider this one and this one. But just for the base player, if you want to call it that, I think I'm missing like 3 or 4. And what I do is, okay, so I see like, well, what are they selling for in a 9 or an 8 or a 7? And I'm like, okay, well, roughly I'm going to be looking at, say, an 8 for this one. And so I wait when I see it, and clearly, yeah, there's some that come up. But if I know that they've recently sold for $20 and I see one listed for $26.99, buy it now, I've been like, yeah, no, I'll get. So I've been passing on a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Because one, either, oh boy, it's an 8, but boy, that's an off center 8. And I'm more centering than corners, and that's just me. Some people like the corners and don't worry about the centering, but I've been like, nope, I'm not gonna pay that. Not gonna pay it. Not gonna. I mean, even though we're talking about maybe $5, hey, it's $5 that I can use to spend on another card. And I have to say, my wife, in a good way, has rubbed off on me. I mean, she's a penny pincher. When she looks for something, she's like, I can save $1 here. I'm like, what? Like I'm like, I'm saving $1. I'm like, well. And it's rubbed off. I see these listings, and literally, I don't know. I'll pass on something rather than spend maybe $5 extra. And yeah, so.
Hey, can I go grab a water real quick?
What?
I'm gonna go grab a water. I'm thirsty.
Okay. Yeah.
So you entertain the peeps. How many peeps are watching right now?
Oh, geez.
What do we got?
I don't know. I'm not even sure how to tell. Oh, 21.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So let me see. I got to see some of the comments here. Prices going up and they come down. Yep. Prices are on Viagra right now. Yeah.
So are you excited about going to the National next year now that you're in the YouTube community and getting to actually shake hands with people and meet them and all that?
Oh, absolutely. I may have mentioned something when we were talking on the phone earlier, but I've been to 2 nationals. They were both in Chicago. I want to say it was 2015 2018 and 2019. And other than a good friend of mine, fellow bogs collector that lives out near Chicago, south of Chicago, where I stayed near and met him and stuff like that. We went into the show together, and 2 or 3 others, and they were bogs collectors. Those were the only ones in the entire, out of everyone there, I knew maybe 3, maybe 4 people. And I just was there by myself, just walking around, having a great time. But next year, knowing that there's going to be a lot of fellow YouTubers out there, I'm really excited to get to meet you guys in person and hang out. Now, I may not be able to be doing a lot of hanging out after the shows on certain days because I'll be staying about 40 minutes south of Chicago. I'm not getting a hotel room right in the city there where I can do whatever and just walk back to the hotel. But
why aren't you doing that?
Well, it's more of it's not just for the national, it's more of a weekish long vacation to go out to see my friend, and my wife's heading out, even though I'm going to drag her to at least one of the days there. But it's more than just going there for the national. If it was just that, and if I didn't know my good friend, if he didn't live out there, yeah, I'd be looking for a place closer to the convention and stuff like that. So my situation is a little bit different, but that doesn't mean that maybe one night can't hang out with a bunch of you guys. Probably just can't, drink it up, but because I got to drive back. But I'm not much of a drinker anyway, so that's no big deal.
So on Thursday night of the National, we'll be doing a YouTube meet and greet, hangout, whatever you want to call it. It'll be hosted by me and Eric, those back pages, and Dave Blue Jacket, and Garrett Card Cutter.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to host like we did in Chicago last year, and it was awesome. Like so much.
Is that the one where like 18 of you went to a restaurant or something like that? Or
no, that was Friday night.
Okay.
We were at a hotel in the bar area, and we basically took it over. There were probably 50 of us there, something like that. And not all content creators. There were guys that, like, I was outside saying hi to somebody, and a guy walked up to me and said, "Are you a baseball collector?" And like, yeah, I mean, where else are you going to see a handsome mug like this? Like, there's not 2 of us walking around. And so he said, "Man, I love your stuff, yada, yada." I said, "Who else do you watch?" He goes, "I watch Eric." And I'm like, "Well, do you want to go meet him?" He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're all upstairs. Let's go." And so there were several people like that that are just consumers of content that just wanted to shake their hands and say hi. And it was great. It was so fun.
I'm hoping to make some baseball cards. I'm not sure if I may use like some of the others, JT's image. I may use another image and make maybe 2 different sets of cards and have that sort of pass out to anyone who may be interested. But
we need to have just JT do a whole set. So do you not have one of mine yet?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
I guess you'll have to be checking your mailbox then in a minute. Unless you'll just, throw darts at it or something, I guess. Yeah, that's fun. Eric had his last year. He was handing them all out to everybody. I didn't have any last year, but I do now. So,
yeah. Well, again, this is what, 7-8 months away. I don't have any set plans while I'm out there. So yeah, maybe I can do something on that Thursday. Maybe now I know we've been trying to do it for the past couple nationals, like I said, in 2015 and 2019. My friend Rich, who's the #1 craziest Wade Boggs fan on the planet. He doesn't do much on YouTube, but he's really on Facebook and Twitter, and his Boggs Tavern, which is his basement, is a shrine. It's a museum. I mean, if you if you look behind me and say, wow, your walls are, full, and that, think of that times 3. I mean, it's on steroids. He has game used jerseys, I mean, he just, anyway, tons of stuff. Our ultimate goal, since he lives so close to Chicago, is every year we try to tweet, promote, or whatever, try to get Wade Boggs to go to the Boggs Tavern. And when I saw Wade in this January at that New Jersey show, I'm like, Wade, you got to go out and see Rich's Tavern. He goes, I know. He says, it's on my bucket list. I'm like, you need to take an extra, because I'm sure he flies into Chicago, does the signing, flies right back to Florida. So I've been, we're pushing for him, and I don't know if next year is going to be it. I don't know, but if that takes place, there's going to be a whole group of us. But he usually comes in, I think, on a Saturday to sign. That's usually his day. So that wouldn't interfere with any type of Thursday thing. But I do have to say, if it's a matter of hanging out with Wade Boggs for an evening versus the YouTube community, no offense, but
none taken.
I just have to hang out with Wade Boggs. But yeah, I know we're going to be pushing this year. I don't know if it'll work out, but.
Caesar says, I only knew Mike at the National last year. That is so not true. Everybody knew Caesar. It was hilarious to see him run around. That was his first National. Man, he was like a kid in a candy store. He was awesome. He hosted a party Friday night with Filmington that that a bunch of us went to there too. There's always something to do, and there's always people to hang out with, and there you go.
Only if we cuddle, Caesar. Only if we can cuddle. But maybe that's too much information. But yeah, well, we can maybe figure something out that I can hang out with you guys, say on the Thursday or something like that. So it'll be fun, because, like you said, I've really enjoyed. I mean, I enjoy making the content, thinking up of ideas and different things to do. I think I'm listening to Eric Those Back Pages a little bit too much. The last couple of videos really started getting philosophical here, but I know I'm thinking all the time. I can't stop thinking, and the world's going around me, and I'm like, how does everything tie in? And I think I'm just watching too many of Eric's videos, but I'm not going off the deep end. But yeah, but just making the content, but interacting with everyone. That's what I enjoy the most, watching their videos and commenting, back and forth. And it's been a blast these past days. It's a lot of work. I mean, for those that create content, it's not just turning the camera on and going, okay, I do prep, and I don't know, maybe I put too much into it, but I do prep and different things and stuff that, okay, this is what I want to do. And I've been adding trivia questions at the end of my videos. It's something like, hey, no one's doing trivia. Let's try that. We'll just do some trivia questions at the end of a video. So, yeah.
I finally got the question right from your last video.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in you, Mike. I just like, Mike.
Well, I didn't think twice about it, and then you bust my chops about it. I'm like, crap, it's Lynn Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sort of Nolan Ryan, are you a native of Texas? Is that where you grew up? So you've been a Rangers fan all your life?
Yep, I was born in 73, and they came to Texas in 72. So literally my whole life, and my dad worked for the team. The team directly. He was a cameraman. He did for the broadcasts of the Rangers all growing up. So that's what I did. I grew up going to the ballpark all the time in the summer.
So, but I think you said early on in your collecting, you focused on the Rangers, maybe became a player collector of
Darryl Strawberry was my first player collector, not a Ranger.
Yeah.
I collected Buddy Bell, but he's like seriously old school. I bet half the people listening don't even know who Buddy Bell is, but
I think I have a Buddy Bell rookie card. I think 73 tops, isn't it?
73 tops. That's right.
Yep.
When he was with the Indians, ironically. But yeah, Rangers fan forever. And most of my player focuses have been Rangers. I've done Buddy Bell, and I got back into Buddy Bell not, several years ago, and kind of completed his run. There's not a ton of Buddy Bell stuff out there. Buddy Bell was the manager of the Rockies once. That's correct. In fact, I have one of his manager cards from when he was with the Rockies. But Buddy Bell, then I did Ruben Sierra, Juan Gonzalez, Michael Young, Ivan Rodriguez, Josh Hamilton. So now Adrian Beltre, I try to pick up as much of his stuff as I can. So definitely a Rangers guy.
Well, okay. So with that, with you going after Rangers, how did vintage start creeping in and maybe take over from those more modern player collectors that you've had?
Yeah, I learned player collecting is nothing wrong with it. I felt
it's a bit crazy. It is.
Well,
it overwhelms you.
I felt at the end, especially with guys like Darryl Strawberry, Hall of Famer, no. Cards worth much? Not really. Yeah. Juan Gonzalez, Hall of Famer, no. Again, these are guys that were very good players in their eras, multiple All-Stars, MVPs, etc. But the end game was you end up with a bunch of cardboard and again, it's not about the money per se, but you don't want it to be worthless. There's some balance there, I think, in my brain between that. And so Ruben Sierra, not a Hall of Famer, Michael Young, not going to be a Hall of Famer. All these guys, I'm like, wow, Pudge is the only guy that has maybe some potential long-term value. Josh Hamilton, not going to be a Hall of Famer. And so, like, I've probably spent, no joke, 25, 30 grand on Hamilton stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now
you have some pieces, don't you? Or these signed jerseys or something like that? Or is it just cards?
Signed jerseys, cards. I've met him several times, and he was the final one of, good God, okay, that's a lot of money. That I enjoyed doing it. So I did get there's some value in that. I don't know how you can put a dollar figure on it, but I enjoyed the hunt for those cards and stuff. But I always loved vintage stuff. And so I started doing the 300 cards by Mike Payne set, 300 Great Cards of the 20th Century set, just from the book. And I was doing raw first. I just started buying cards. And then I started thinking, man, I'm going to start going back. And my original plan was to do 6, because it's from the beginning of 1900 to 2000, to 1999. And so I thought, well, I'm going to do what's really obtainable. I'm not going to ever have a Honus Wagner. So what's really attainable? And I said 1960 to 99. I'm like, okay, I can get all of those cards. Those are all pretty gettable. And that was what I started doing. And I had vintage. It wasn't that I was devoid of vintage in my collection at all. It wasn't a focus per se. And then it became a focus. And then I started going, I'm going to start going back before 1960. And I don't trust myself enough, even with my experience in the hobby, to not get swindled.
Yeah.
And not buy a reprint, not buy this. Because I had been in the autograph world for a while at that point, in the Hall of Fame autograph world, and I had gotten swindled several times and learned a valuable lesson, expensive lesson, mind you. But the lesson was learned nonetheless, and I was able to go, you know what, I'm just going to do PSA cards. And then I discovered that there was actually a registry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, other people do this too? And
now I'm crack cocaine on the set registries, which you said I want to talk to you about how you got recently into it. I want to get your take on it and what you think of it. But I think I'm number 7 on the 300 Great Cards in the set registry, which is, the cards in it are, there's some really big boy cards, and then there's some head scratcher cards, and stuff.
Right.
I just thought that was fun. And then I started going, you know what? I love the, pick XYZ random player, the 53 Topps Campanella, and that aren't on that list, or various cards. And I said, well, I'm going to do all the 53 Bowman color Hall of Famers. I love that set.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this set. I'm going to do the 73 tops because that's the year I was born. And that morphed into, after I was completing these years, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to why not just do all of them? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Because the worst part about a project is finishing it.
Yeah.
And until you do it, it's hard to understand what I just said. But I'm telling you, you go, well, now what? What's next? Because the itch for the hunt does not go away just because you complete a project.
Because now you have something else. And it's not quite
something else. I'm sorry, it's my daughter, but she wants to FaceTime with my wife. But so it became this, okay, I'm going to do every card from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, all of the Hall of Famers, because that's who I really loved getting. I loved having those. And the value long-term seemed to be that, not that they're going to be worth a mint or that I'm going to retire with multi-millions of dollars worth of cards, but it was, at least I'm not going to have cards worth 10 cents on the dollar at the end of the day.
Yeah.
From some player collector that ends up being only pretty good or whatever. And I just wanted the base card. I didn't want to get all the crazy stuff. And so then I said, well, I might as well do 50s too. And so the 4-decade set is kind of that lifelong project, or certainly I'm well over halfway now. So I'm at like 60% of all of them, which is just insane that I could be there that fast.
Yeah. Cause didn't you say it was like 2,500 cards or something like that you counted up? Or
let me tell you, I got my spreadsheet right here.
Ken, no, none of my parents collected cards, although my mom, you wouldn't say she collected, she had cards back in the probably around the mid 50s. And she used to just flip them with her friends along the garage door. She used to tell me that. And she had some in a cardboard box, and her parents, my grandparents, were ones where you don't play with something, you don't use something, it gets tossed. So they were long gone, probably by the 60s. They were thrown out. So, yeah, and my dad just had no interest, just never. So it was just me. But, yeah. So for me, I think I always had, since I started collecting, I always had that vintage bug. And yeah, I morphed and developed and went off in the Wade Boggs, direction. But even in my early days of collecting, it was like mid 80s. The 86 Canseco was like, the card to get, and the 85 Topps McGuire and all that stuff. And maybe I'll this and that. That's pretty cool. And Bo Jackson and Don Mattingly and, those types of cards. But whenever I'd go to my card shop, or even when I got the price guides, I'd immediately turn to the 50s and 60s cards and go, man, I look at that 1960 Topps design. I mean, those are cool cards, but oh my gosh, they want $20 for this one. And I, back then I had maybe in a week, a couple bucks to spend or something like that. But I even back then was looking at those vintage sets. I'm like, wow, that'd be awesome to own a 1952 Bowman set. They were going for $600 a set back there, whatever it was. But it's all, for me, that vintage has always been there. And so for me, it's just like becoming young again, getting these new vintage cards. Like I said, I'm still going to be a huge Boggs collector, but I'm spreading out a little bit with these vintage. So, but you said you wanted to know something about the registry with me or something, or?
Yeah, well, to answer your earlier question, there's 2,360 cards in those 4 decades. I only need 738 of them. So, I mean, I'm almost 70% of the way there, which is just crazy. Because then I'll go, well, now what? But Jeremiah asked, Mike, do you feel priced out of a card you really want? Yeah, but I think we all do. I mean, that's probably true. Like I would love I want a Rose rookie, but I think that card is stupidly expensive for what it is. Yeah. And I want a 52 Topps Mantle someday, but a 1 is 20 grand, 15, 20 grand. So,
well, I just saw a Boggs listing from 2020. It's not 5-star, and maybe 5-star. Anyway, gorgeous. I mean, you had, all the shine, a new card. It has a huge patch and autograph, and out of, I don't know, maybe out of 5 or something like that. Yeah, buy it now for 120. Not even a best offer. Buy it now for $125. I'm like, no.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe half of that. Yeah, I'd buy it again. I buy on the cheap whenever I can, even if it's Boggs stuff. That's, forget about condition, because I don't have that stuff graded. But
maybe you feel this way like I do. I would buy every card for $1 if I could. I could care less, right? I mean, I like that it has value, but I'm not. I don't know. Gary's asking me if I'm going to be on the Cardboard podcast again. I haven't been on the Cardboard podcast yet. They've been on my show, but.
Well, weren't you on in Hobby Palooza where you had to jump in because?
Oh God, yeah, that was.
that I swear, when I was watching that, I thought all that was scripted. I thought, because I've seen some of their video, and the two of them are just amazing together. They're crazy, and I'm like, wow, this is really they and it turned out no, it was not planned, but they're so good at it that it's like,
yeah,
I can believe that they would have done something like that.
Well, what happened when I came on was all that was joking, because I was kidding with Bob, and Bob didn't know I was going to come on and be like, you guys are ruining Hobby Palooza. Like, what is, and I totally didn't care. I was just going to be funny or try to be funny. I'm not good at it, but I was trying. And Bob just totally went with it. And afterwards, he and I were talking, because Mark texted me. He's like, dude, this isn't a joke. Like, because I thought the same thing you did. I'm like, what are they doing? And, I can get dry humor, but I'm like, okay, this isn't right. Like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, it's not working. He literally sent me because you can only broadcast from your login, right? I couldn't broadcast on their channel from my login. So he texted me his login information for StreamYard. I go log in and start running the stream, on quotes. That was totally improv and didn't make the best of it. And Mark,
and didn't JT have on one episode? It wasn't the one that I was on for the Super Collector that he had, but he was on as a guest. Didn't he lose power as well?
He was on the Jeopardy on Hollywood.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was on Jeopardy, lost power. And was he the one, or someone else had to go to the McDonald's?
That was Bart on my channel.
Yeah. I mean, no, seriously, with everything technology, and of course, just blame it on COVID. But that Hobby Palooza was really, really good. I enjoyed watching, and just heck, to even participate in one of them for 10 minutes or so that was on was great. And
my brainchild, by the way.
What?
I was my brainchild to do that. And
yeah, I think it was needed.
We're going to do it again.
Good.
We'll do it next year. We're already trying to talk about what makes sense, probably, I don't know, a few weeks before the National, basically as a giant national pep rally.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
Ray.
Ray. Yo and hello. We got Gary. Don is saying he loves the show. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all John. I'm just here.
Yeah. No, hey, Race, I guess we just found out tonight that the Philly show's canceled. Sorry to hear that. I wasn't going to have a chance to go down this weekend. But I think you were looking forward to going down and doing that. Ray's another one who is on the, does a lot with the registry, the 300 cards. I know he does player runs and stuff. So I think he's working on a Steve Carlton and a Johnny Bench run now.
Let me tell you a funny Ray from Philly story. So when I first started actually producing content, Ray was one of those guys that was, Ray and I are good friends, and he was the first guy that I talked to outside of just shooting a video. And I was talking to him, and I didn't talk to anyone else, so I'd talk to him every once in a while. And my wife was like, "Who are you talking to?" Like, Julie's like, and I said, "It's Ray from Philly." And she's like, "Is he really from Philly?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Ray from Philly. He's not Ray from Scranton, or whatever." And she's like, "That's kind of weird." And I said, "Yeah, it's really not. It's a normal guy. And we've been friends ever since." And I don't know. It's just that started it for me, like getting into the community a lot more. And, great guy. Love Ray. And he and I challenge each other because he does a lot of the same sets that I do. And I mean, in a good way, like, dude, that's awesome that you got that card, and vice versa. And when he gets cards, I'm super excited for him. And I love seeing what he's getting. And so let me ask you about your set registry experience. Do you, you've only been doing it now literally a few weeks, I think, right?
Yep.
What is your kind of take on it? What do you think?
I think I've only explored all the different possible sets that are out there. Because again, right now, I've just been going, hey, let me try to go after 78s and 79s, and now I'm in 77s and 80s. So that's 4 years. So yeah, I started a bass player collection of, I don't know who I put in. I think I put Thurman Munson in. I have 2 cards. So I'm very at the early stages. But one thing I'm a little confused on, and I don't think it really matters until I really maybe get into it, is the weighting of there's 2 different scores, the average grade, and then there's some weighted grade, which actually is lower. I'm not quite sure how that works. I know it's like you get maybe some bonuses for a higher grade of a tougher card, like lower pop and things like that. But the other thing that I haven't put too much weight in so far is what they have as a price or value. For some of them, they don't have any value. And then I'm looking at one, I forget who it was. I entered it recently. One of the recent ones I got, I scanned the code, put it in, added it to, I think it was a 1980 card. And it said value $3. I'm like, it was like $3. But I'm like, so I just ignore that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't use it to keep track of how much they're worth. It's just more of a cataloging. I think I'm the highest set ranking. I was busting your chops a little bit. I think I was I'm 19th already on the 79 set, and you're 16th or something. So I'm right hot on your tail there. But I still have, and I'm only like 61% of the set. Now that I know there are more cards,
right?
Than just because, again, I didn't start my checklist off of the PSA registry list because I wasn't even signed up to do that yet. So I was just going through like a price guide or a list of saying, hey, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm pretty sure he's a Hall of Famer, and making up my own list. So at least now I have those lists to go off of. I still haven't bought any of the league leader cards, all-star, whatever like that yet. I'm just trying to go after their main card, and I'm sure I'll start filling in at some point those other cards. But
so I want to answer some of these comments because they're funny.
Yeah.
Caesar says, you guys give each other your phone numbers. So put down below, I have Caesar's phone number. So if anybody wants, I probably have one of the largest phone directories of YouTubers because I've just coordinated so many things and trying to between the National and YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame and yada yada. I've been blessed to have a lot of guys be willing to give me their phone number. So if you want Pepino's phone number, let me know. I'll put it on the screen. Ken asks, do you upload photos of the cards in your registry? Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I scan the minute I get a card, I scan it, put it into the inventory or whatever, and you can check that cool box that says add it to any sets that it would apply to, and it automatically does that. And I put the price I paid, the date I bought it, the real approximate value, not what PSA says it is, because you can edit that, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can change it to what you really think it is. And then I upload a photo. Not the back though, I just do the front.
Okay.
And then
my only problem with that is, you must have a different, because I've done the research. I guess there's two different type of flatbed scanners and the technology used. The one I have is fairly old, and it doesn't, if you try to scan a slabbed card, the depth becomes blurry. And so at this point, I'd have to take, like with my camera, set up something that I could take a picture of it and upload. So I don't know. I may get around to it someday, but I think right now there's no sense to have a blurry image.
Yeah, it's
loaded up there.
And scanners aren't
that expensive.
Not expensive, really, to get a decent one. And what do I use for values? Victor's asking. I just go to previous listings, like recent listings, and I look at the last 5 and I average the price. And that's what I put in there. Because VCP is great, but I don't have it. I don't have a subscription to it. So
neither was it. I think it was like $18 a month or something like that. I looked at it and I'm like, for $18 a month, that's a vintage card. I'm like,
I genuinely don't even know what it costs because I don't have, I don't even look into it. Ray's talking about cropping the photo. Yeah, you have to do that too. So it takes, it's not like it's a 2-second process, but I actually enjoy that process. I enjoy that cataloging process of getting a card into its, final home back here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, 8 or 10 steps. I got to put it on mark it off my checklist. And I have 2 running checklists. One that's kind of the different sets, the different decades and whatever projects. And then I take all of that and I have this master spreadsheet that I can print and take to a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like every card I'm looking for, and I can just print that one list instead of having to print every tab because I want to keep it separate. Right. Makes sense. So I literally have to delete them from 2 different spreadsheets and yada yada, all these things that I do. But I enjoy that process. That's part of the joy for me is that cataloging. And what's my total amount?
There you go. Yeah, $180 a year.
Total amount I have on my registry right now in my inventory, which every card's inventoried. I don't know why anybody wouldn't inventory because it's also a great insurance, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Here, look, I had this card. Regular base slabs, I have 2,238. And then on PSA DNA, I probably have another, well, I can look, I guess. So these are autos, PSA DNA is the auto side. And I probably, it's loading. When it takes a long time to load.
Yeah,
Like there are times my regular inventory will take like a minute and a half to load, which in internet terms is an eternity. It's still loading, by the way.
Yeah. Now I have my own system for my bogs. I do have other cards in there, but I have an Excel spreadsheet. Then I put it into this software program I created, and which tracks different things more than just it's. I don't know. It's a fancier way of just a spreadsheet. Really, but keeps track of different serial numbers and all this stuff if I have multiple copies. And it was just easier. I developed it, like 15 years ago, and I still use that. But I don't. The one step I don't take that you do is when I get a new Boggs card or any card, is scan it right away. Probably should, but I do on my Facebook and Twitter account. I do a Wade Boggs card of the day, and I've been doing that. I bet you it's approaching 6 years straight.
Wow.
And I've maybe missed. I bet you I haven't missed more than 5 days in 5+ years of doing it every single day. So on Sundays, I scan about a week's worth of cards, front and back. Now those I put into my software. I can load pictures into my software, but then I just post the fronts. So I do a week at a time. I'm up to, I'm almost at the end of 1998's cards.
And where do you keep all those?
The Boggs cards?
The scans.
Oh, the scans on my computer.
Okay. You don't have them out there on the interwebs?
No, I have them. All I do is just post the image on, say, Facebook or the Facebook page. So they're out there, but not on like a Google Docs or. Actually, no, I tell a lie. It's been a while since I've updated them, but I have taken all those scans and uploaded them to my Google Docs.
Gotcha.
It's been about a year. I probably should update it, just in case I lose all those scans on my computer. But
well, you should look into. I'm about to change your life. Sportscardalbum.com.
I've heard of that. I've heard it. So that's sort of like an online collection that you upload.
Yep.
Your stuff. Yeah.
You could literally dump all your photos in there right now and be done, and they're all there forever, or all as long as Sports Card Album's around. But
yeah,
I love it. I use it a lot. So that's another step in that process, is uploading the photo to there too. Philly Ray says, I heard there's a show in Dallas this weekend. There is 400+ tables. That'll be great. I hear there's a party at Mike's this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is. Come on down. Ron could fly out from Vegas. Oh, Ray is coming apparently. So great. When did I start doing slabs? Gary's asking me when I started.
Oh, so that must be the show that Ray was talking about.
No, he said there's a mall show there in Philly somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because didn't someone, when we first started, I said something about affiliate, and someone said that got canceled, or?
And Ray agreed. When you told Ray that, he said yes, that got canceled.
Okay, so there's another one that he's going to then. Okay.
Signers at the Dallas show, yes. Like here, I'm going to share my screen with you, John, and you can.
Yeah.
But when did I get into slabs? I would say about 10 years ago would be my. Because I what's funny is I used to be adamantly, vehemently against grading. I thought it was the biggest scam, gimmick, / just money. Like, this is dumb. Why would you ever do that? I am on the 100 complete 80 opposite side of that now. Here, I can't do two things at once. So let me, all right, here's if you share my screen.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
So here's the show information. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm only going Friday and Saturday. And then here's the signers. You got Randy White, Bob Lilly, Drew Pearson on Saturday. Tony Casillas, Ed Too Tall. So it's all Cowboys, which makes sense. But I mean, that's not too bad, I guess. $39 for Randy White. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the show stuff.
Yeah. So those are the only signers there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting that they didn't have, since baseball season's over now, they didn't have any other. It is Dallas, though. I mean, there's.
Yeah, but the fact that there's any signers is shocking to me, given COVID, right? I mean,
that's true.
thinking that all these, thousands of or hundreds of strangers are going to be handing over these items that have been God knows where. I'm sure all the guys will be wearing gloves and whatnot. It'll be weird. Definitely weird. Hey, there's Eric. The Card Closet is here. Have you ever noticed on YouTube, for me, I want to know when it bugs me when people do their videos and they don't say their first name.
Yeah. I actually have a list because I sometimes I'm terrible with names. So I actually have a list for ones that I haven't interacted with a lot, but I always like to have that personal interaction of knowing their name. And I probably follow or have interacted with so many Erics. There's like this Eric, that Eric, that Eric.
There's Erics and Mikes all over.
Yeah.
In fact, if you just randomly call someone in the community Eric or Mike, you got a 50-50 shot at it. I mean, but no, it's I just like there are people on here that are on the chat even right now that I don't know their first name, and I don't want to call somebody by their YouTube name. Like, don't call me Baseball Collector. My name is Mike. Which is why I always say, hey, this is Mike, Baseball Collector. Yo and hello. Mike here, baseball, whatever I say. I can only do it when I'm doing a video, and then I'll say it the same every time. But it's weird on my podcast now. I'm trying to use my full name because nobody on there knows me as Baseball Collector. It's a podcast, so there's a lot of crossover, and overlap. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there's plenty of people that only listen to the podcast and don't know me as a YouTuber, Baseball Collector. So. Hey, there's another Mike, Hitman 23, another guy I met at the National. Great dude. Mike is awesome. Hitman 23. But if you didn't know Hitman 23's name was Mike.
Yeah. And I think I just found that out fairly recently. There was something where, and it may have been someone else's comment that said, hey, great cards, Mike, or something where I'm like, oh, okay, his name's Mike. So I put it in my little list so I remember next time, okay, when I'm making a comment on his video or whatever, again, I like to have that personal touch and not just say cool cards or whatever this. It's to make that connection. So
yeah, and I keep I have a part of my giant spreadsheet of my whole collecting world that if I lost that, I'd be in really doo-doo. But I have a list of YouTubers and I have all their YouTube handles, their name, first name, last name, if I have it, address, phone number, email, and it's hundreds of people long, people that I've met over the years. And it's funny how people come and go. There's guys that come in, they'll shoot their wad and shoot videos for 6 months, and then they'll stop and they'll literally just be gone. And I call those dead subs because they don't, like if you look at anybody's videos for the most of us in the community, if you think about, like you have 300 subs.
Yep.
So sadly, I hate to tell you this, newsflash, not all 300 people that are subbed to you are watching every video.
Yeah.
And because of that, well, Ray's asking, I better be at the top of that list. The list is alphabetical, Ray. So you're down in the F section. Yeah. So there's a good example. Caitlin, who's a league of their own. You might not even know her channel, John, because she hasn't been around in months.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay, a league of their own. Go watch her old stuff. She's amazing. Her stuff is amazing, and she does a really good job on her stuff. But so there's an example. So these people that just like, and they just kind of come and go. And so like on any average video, even when I was doing videos on Baseball Collector and hadn't moved over to Bench Clear yet, if I got 1,000 views, I'd feel great. And I had almost 4,000 subs. So 25%. And then if you look at your analytics, you can see what are they subbed or not. And I was about 50-50. Half of my views came from people that weren't even subbed to me.
Yeah. I was around 70%. I was around, now it's starting to dip into the 55, 40, it's getting.
As the channel grows, that will get which is weird. You'd think it'd go the other way. You
Yeah.
think the more subs you get, the more of your views are going to be from those subs, but it's the opposite. It's this weird dynamic, and I haven't figured all that out. I'm not smart enough to figure out the YouTube algorithms and yada yada. But Ken saying he's enjoying the golden age of cardboard. Thank you, sir.
So am I. I'm behind one episode. You probably dropped another episode today.
It's coming out tomorrow. Ty's working.
Okay, I'm behind one where you had JT on, right? The last one.
I did.
Yeah, I need to watch that, and I'm keeping up with comments on my videos because I think that's important. But I'm probably from my video feed of ones that I religiously watch. There's certain ones where, I'll occasionally watch their video if it sounds interesting, but there are ones that I always watch every single video, and I'm about 3 days behind. And so I try to do what I can but I'm falling behind a little bit there, but,
all right.
So much out there. That's just, there's so much.
It's going to drop tomorrow, I guess. Now, I don't think it dropped today because I didn't see it. It's with Eric, so that'll be good. Just me and Eric just shooting the bull. It's hilarious. But Gary's saying he doesn't like the fact that he's like, why would you sub to a channel and not watch? And I'll be the first one to explain that, or at least this is my perspective / experience. I'm subbed to somewhere around 300 sports card channels, and I went back. I can't remember when I did this little experiment. I looked on a Sunday and I was like, all right, I added up all the time of the videos of people that had posted just that day.
Yeah.
And it was like 13 hours or something. I'm sorry, but I don't have 13 hours in any day to watch YouTube videos and sit there and watch them all. So as much as I may like, I sub to those 300 channels for a reason, because I like what they do, whatever that is. And it's, believe me, not all stuff that I connect with in terms of my personal collection. I just like their style. I like their passion, whatever, right?
Yep.
So subbing doesn't mean loyal viewer. I wish it did.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, sadly. It's not because it's not personal.
Yeah.
Now and you probably have this too. I have, I don't know, 10 or 12 people that they could put a video up reading the yellow pages and I would watch it, every bit of it.
Yep.
But those are typically genuinely my close friends. Ray's on here. I watch every video he does, cover to cover, so to speak. And sadly, I don't always comment, but that's because I'm either watching it in the car, and that would be not very safe to comment while I'm watching a video. And I rarely go back and think to make a comment on somebody's video, which, the best thing people can do is make comments, because then you're getting feedback, and it can be positive, and believe me, in my case, negative. But I actually don't mind that, by the way. People say, do you like I don't like people being rude or hurtful. But at the end of the day, dude, polarizing is not a bad thing. It's just means people disagree with you. And if you think if you're going to do content and just to make everybody agree with you, well, that's silly.
I've realized as my channel has grown, there's inevitably going to be, I'm going to get some thumbs down on a video. I mean, and you think about it, I did a 250 subscriber video, a giveaway. I got a thumbs down on the video. I'm like, I'm doing a contest giveaway. I'm thanking people for subscribing to my channel, and maybe they didn't like the prize. But I'm like, hey, whatever. It's like it no skin off my back, right? Do
you remember the video I did talking about my daughter's accident that she had? She had a car accident. I think I got 20-something thumbs down on that video. It's like, really, people? But I have those people that I swear they click on the video, thumbs down it, and click off.
They don't even watch it. They just they're
not there for that. But it is funny.
It's part of social media. You're going to get that. But I think, and again, I try to make comments on other people's videos that I watch. Because again, it's that feedback and say, hey, great pull or great card or wow, that's, congratulations or whatever the case may be. But I am slowly starting to find myself again wanting to take the time to watch the videos and knowing how many videos there are out there. Again, I'm finding myself maybe liking the video because that's an important. I like the video, and either my comments are a lot shorter, or I may just be like, "Yeah, that was good," but I'm only going to be up for another half hour. I want to check this other video too, and just switch over. But it's nothing against their content or whatever. Just because there's so much out there, and I understand. Yeah, of my 300 subscribers, there may be 40 that or even 10 that just, hey, John posted a video, I want to go watch it, and that's fine.
The minute I click on a video to watch it, I thumbs up it, because if I'm going to I'm not clicking on your video because I don't watch people that I don't like. It's that simple.
That's me.
I don't even bother. I don't watch. It's not the Howard Stern type. I want to watch and see what this idiot says next. I simply avoid it. I'm only watching videos of people that I like. And so if you get a comment from me on your video, it means I like you. I promise, because I'm not going to take the time to do that if I'm not impressed or entertained or whatever. And that's what this is. That's what people, I think, this is entertainment.
Yeah.
This is pure entertainment done at a grassroots level in a niche hobby that's really tiny in the overall scheme of things. And so who cares, right? But Eric asked a question earlier, the card closet, how do you see a list of your subscribers? And it's on your dashboard.
Yeah, you have to go into the analytics or something like that.
In the YouTube studio, you can see a list of those. But not everybody shows up there because some people don't have
they have them hidden.
Right.
Yeah. So like there was I forget whose contest I entered that they said, hey, you have to be a subscriber and I will check. So you have to unhide, at least until that contest was over, make it public. And I'm like, oh, well, sure. I have mine public. I have nothing to hide. And I checked and no, mine was set to private.
Interesting.
And I mean, again,
who cares if they know you're sub to you?
Yeah, I'm fine. And hey, if there's someone that says, hey, you need to come check my channel. I notice yours. I'll check the channel out.
Anyway, but we've gone on a lot of different. We've been on almost 2 hours, John.
I know. and here, when we started, I'm like, Mike, you got what, about an hour? You like, yeah, I'm sure you have to do. And he's like, oh yeah, let's just then. Yeah, well, this was about as long as I was on with Nate the last time. We just kept talking, and I just not realized. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I actually hear the dog scratching at the door. I don't know if you see on that one video, but I know you have Norman, and we have a Yorkie. Her name's Gracie. And whenever I go to do my videos, I shut the door. Not that she's loud or anything like that. I just want to be quiet and have my space to do the videos. She won't scratch. She will lay down right at the door the entire time I'm in here, setting up, doing prep, whatever, until I'm done recording. She waits for me, and I open the door, and there she is. And she thinks that I've been gone like all day. She's so excited to see me. I've just been behind the door. So I'm like, Gracie, I promise you, one of these days I'll get you on one of my videos. And so sure enough, it was like a couple Fridays ago. I forget what the topic was on. And so I just had her, and I had her on my lap, and I was petting her and did for about a few minutes. Then she wanted down stuff, but I got her on because I swear she's like, Dad, are you recording without me? But yeah, she's wonderful. She's my son's all grown up. My wife this is our second marriage. Her 2 sons are grown up. We don't have kids together. So our Gracie is our 2-year-old child. And she's like a actual part of the family. And so that's cute that she just waits for me. So yeah, she was sort of scratching a little bit saying, Dad, you've been in there for almost 2 hours.
Right.
You going to come out? And like, yeah, so yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, this has been great.
Actually, Ken, I have on I think every description of my YouTube video, if you check, I have a Google Doc. It hasn't been updated in the last maybe couple weeks, so maybe the newer releases, I've maybe picked up some stuff, but I do have a Excel spreadsheet that you can download with the cards that I'm missing from my box collection. So if you wanted to do that, you can check that out. So,
all right, dudes. How's my mom and dad doing? They're doing well.
Yeah,
they're doing good. I had lunch with my dad yesterday, so they're good. They both. My brother has COVID. My twin brother.
Oh, you have a twin brother. Okay. I have a younger sister by 20 months to the day, and her birthday is next Thursday, I think. But we're going down this weekend on Saturday. So even if that Philly show was going on, I wouldn't be able to attend. We're going down for her birthday there. But yeah. So now, is it identical twin or
fraternal? He's been on a few of my videos from long ago. It's, when you have 600 videos, it's like, who would want to go back and watch any of that crap? But yeah, he's fraternal. He's 5 minutes older. He was a pitcher. He pitched at Vanderbilt. I was a catcher, so we always had people to practice with each other. But he's doing well. I mean, they're just sick. Basically, they're just got a really bad. Essentially, it's like the flu and they can't smell. That's the weird part. But he lives in Nashville, so I don't see him very often. But and I have a sister that's 11 months younger. So
he lives in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Nashville last year for a business conference. Had a wonderful time. That's a neat,
great town.
Really neat city. It was right around the time of my wife's birthday, and I surprised her with tickets to the Grand Ole Opry. And we went out I said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner for your birthday." So I got a taxi, and we went to this mall that I figured was like an Olive Garden or something like that. So she thought, okay, hey, this is nice, and we're driving a long way just to go out to eat. I'm like, and so the show was for a certain time. So I wanted to get there early enough, right? Well, we're waiting, and the waiters and the food's not coming. I'm thinking to myself, oh, where's our food? And she's like, just calm down. We have all. I'm like, no. I didn't. We need to get moving. And she's like, what? And I'm like, just like, maybe just I want to walk around or something like that. And the mall was like literally almost right across the street from the Grand Ole Opry. And so I said, we finally got done. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, okay. I said, hey, let's walk over here. I think the Grand Ole Opry is close by. We can just walk around. Like you could see the lights and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, this is really cool. They have some statues outside or whatever. And I said, hey, would you like to catch a show? She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just happen to have 2 tickets. Let's go in. And so she loved it. I'm not too much into country. She loved it. And it was really neat.
Yeah. It's a great town. And yeah. So, well, let's let all these people go to bed or go watch some other videos of other people they like. And
absolutely. Hey, Mike, thank you. This was great. Wonderful hobby talk and all that stuff. So, and thank you everyone that joined us. I wish I could have been a better host and saw all the comments and responded, but I was,
it's hard to do, isn't it? It's hard to
yes. It is, because I may see some comments and you don't want to interrupt, but then you want to get back to the people that have taken the time to ask questions. So again, thanks everyone watching. Mike, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Keep collecting.